Now, do you need a realtor's license, or even should you get a realtor's license to be a real estate investor? No, I'm going to definitely tell you that as an investor, I have 30 plus rental properties right now, and I am not a realtor. And there are a lot of problems and reasons why you should not be a realtor if you are going to be a real estate investor. Now, if you're going to be a realtor, that's a totally different story. Become a realtor. That's a full-time job. We invest in real estate so we don't have to have a full-time job. Our properties work for us. So let me give you all the reasons why you should not become a realtor if you're going to be investing in real estate for yourself. Hey guys, my name is Dustin Heiner with Master Passive Income, and I want to show you how to quit your job by investing in real estate rental properties so you never have to work a job again. And hit that subscribe button. Now let's get into it. Now the first thing is, as a realtor, you must disclose every single time you put an offer in on a property, even if it's for yourself, that you are a realtor. Not saying that's actually a bad thing, but it could have some issues. So as an investor, I put offers on so many properties. I bought 30 plus properties now that I own, and I put in my offer myself, or I have a realtor do it. But either way, I do not disclose or need to or should disclose anything about being a realtor. Number one, because I'm not, but number two, because I don't have to. If you are a realtor, you must disclose that you're a realtor. And what might happen is the seller might say, well, you're a realtor. Why are you buying it? Well, I'm going to buy it as an investment. Other stories might have to come up. You might have to explain yourself. As an investor, you just say, hey, my name's Dustin Heiner. I want to buy this property. Okay, good. You want to buy this property? It doesn't matter why. I'll sell it to you. So that's a big thought, is you have to and must disclose yourself as being a realtor. Now, the next thing, the problem with becoming a realtor for an investor is most states do not allow somebody who's a realtor to not work under a brokerage. Like, you actually have to work for a brokerage firm or a company that has a bunch of little realtors underneath them. And it's really hard to actually even start your own brokerage. You have to have a lot of fees and licenses and education, all that sort of stuff to start your own brokerage. So it's not that simple to do that. Now, if you want a full-time job, which I quit my job when I was 37 years old. I love not working. I don't want to work for somebody else just to have a realtor's license, because it hasn't benefited me at all if I ever needed one, which I've never have needed one. So as an investor, if I'm going to need a job, then maybe becoming a realtor to make money might be good. But as an investor, absolutely not. I'm not going to work for anybody else. I don't need to work for a brokerage. So you can't work for yourself. Most states won't let you work for yourself as a realtor. You have to be underneath a brokerage. And another one, piggybacking up off the last one with being a brokerage, it's really a full-time job. Like, you have to work in order to stay a realtor. You have to get licensing. You have to comply with everything. You have to work for a brokerage. You have to have office hours. Brokerages, they're not going to want just a realtor just to have their name underneath them. No, they really want you to actually work, which is a bummer. So it's a full-time job. Now, if you need it, totally different story. It's okay. But to be an investor, absolutely, you do not need to be a realtor. Another question that I get all the time is, well, I would save a lot of money. If I buy the property myself and I'm the realtor, well, I'll save that 3% commission as the buyer. Well, I would save that money. Well, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I say, well, yes, kind of, but at the same time, those commissions aren't that great, because remember, the brokerage that you're working for, they're going to want their money. They're going to want to take money off the top. Let's say, and this is the way it usually works, the seller's realtor gets 3%, the buyer's realtor gets 3%. So as an investor, you would become the buyer's realtor. You would potentially get 3%, but not you. The brokerage might take 1.5% or 2%, and you would get 1% on top of that. Instead, as an investor, here's a big pro tip I'm going to give you as an investor. As an investor, if you go to the seller's realtor, don't bring your realtor. Do not bring your realtor and say, hey, realtor, I found this property. Go talk to this guy. Don't do that. Go directly to the seller's realtor and say, hi, my name's Dustin Heiner. I would like to put an offer in this property. If I purchase through you, so you, the seller's realtor, will also be my realtor as the buyer's realtor, how about I give you 1.5% or 2%? It'll save me 1%. And so as a buyer, what I'm looking at now, if I was a realtor, I might make 1%, which is great. But as a buyer, I don't actually need to do that. What I would do is go to the seller and negotiate down 1% off of that. So it's the same amount of savings, if not more, because I don't have all those fees and other things I gotta pay, which we'll get into in just a second. And another issue with becoming a realtor in order to invest is that there are licensing issues. You actually have to go through schooling or education and coursework or reading books to become a realtor. You might spend up to like 100 hours or more learning how to be a realtor before you can actually become a realtor. So that's a lot of time when instead of, why not use that time doing something else, building your business instead of becoming a realtor? On top of that, another big problem that I see with becoming a realtor is the fees. There are so many fees and licensing and courses, things you have to pay out of your pocket to be a realtor and then continue to be a realtor. If you don't continue your education, if you don't continue your licensing, if you don't continue to do it, you're actually going to lose your license and you will not become a realtor or be a realtor anymore. So it's the licensing fees on top of all the work that you're gonna have to put in to become a realtor. And I don't see any benefits personally as an investor to be a realtor. And the fees will probably be close to $1,500 to $2,000 just to become a realtor, and then ongoing expenses that you're going to have on top of the just becoming a realtor. So you're going to have more and more fees coming out of your pocket. But remember, this is a full-time job. They're going to want to make sure, and especially the state, the government's going to say, I want to make sure that you're a good realtor, that you know the way we want you to do things, and which is not a bad thing. You should know those things if you want to be a realtor. But as an investor, you absolutely don't need any of that. In fact, I hire realtors to do the work. Have like, you guys work your tails off. Go ahead, find me properties. I'll drink my coffee and look at my email every single morning at the properties you send me and say, hey, I like this one, I don't like that one. I like this one, I don't like that one. I have them do the work. I just sit back and make passive income every single month. And another problem is as you are a realtor doing your job, not just licensing and fees, there are other costs that you're going to have. Obviously, you're driving around to house after house after house. That's gas. That's wear and tear on your car. What about taking pictures or hiring somebody to take good pictures of a house that you might sell, or other fees that are costs that come up as you are running a business, printing fees, all these sort of things are going to come up, which you really don't need to. I'll pay a realtor a little bit of commission in order to have them do all the work and pay for all those fees. Totally worth me to pay a realtor to do all that work for me. And also on top of that, another big problem is all the paperwork that you're going to have to sign. Not just like the paperwork for the homes, but also paperwork being a realtor, working for the company, getting paychecks and all that worried about, time and mileage and all that sort of stuff. That's a lot of stuff you're going to have to worry about, which we as investors don't necessarily worry about. We also pay our accountants to do all that, which is what I love, is I love paying other people to do the work for me so I don't have to do the work. Another big reason why some people might say you should become a realtor is because of the MLS, the multiple listing service. So whenever you're going to sell a house, in my opinion, the best thing you should do is put the property on the MLS. Now, I know there are loads and loads of other companies out there like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, all that sort of stuff. You can put your properties on there to sell, but if you get it in front of the MLS, that's what all the realtors use. That's what Realtor.com uses. That's what everybody uses. So if you put it on the MLS, the multiple listing service, that gets it out to the most eyeballs as possible. Now, here's a big pro tip I'm gonna give you. Recently, within the last maybe 5 to 6 years, there's been a lot of companies popping up where they know people want to sell it themselves, but they need to put their property on the MLS. So here's the big pro tip. In whatever state that you own your home and you're trying to sell it, you want to look up flat fee MLS. 3 words or 3 things. Flat, F-L-A-T, fee, F-E-E, flat fee MLS. And what you're going to do is you're going to find a realtor or a brokerage that is going to be able to list your home for sale on the MLS for a flat fee. I've seen as low as like $400, and they'll put it on the MLS for like 6 months. If you need it for 6 months, hopefully it's not going to be that long. But if you get on the MLS, that's the best thing. And as a realtor, if you were a realtor yourself, you'd have access to that. But shoot, why not just pay somebody $400 to put it on the MLS and list the property yourself through them? The brokerage's name is on the listing and it goes through them, but you are doing yourself. They're not getting a commission. Instead of, if you're selling a $100,000 house, 3% commission is $3,000. Why not pay $400 to get on the MLS, do the rest yourself? Another pro tip I'm gonna give you is that it is super simple to sell your house yourself. It is so easy to do that. All you really need is a buyer. Somebody's gonna be buying your house, and a title company that's gonna do the title search, the escrow fees, and all that sort of stuff. That's really all you need. So in the description, check out the video where I actually show you how to sell the property yourself. It's so simple and saving yourself. Now, if you have a $100,000 house, that's $3,000. If you have a $100,000 house, the commission you're going to pay your realtor, your seller's realtor, is 3%. Now, if you have a $200,000 house, that's still 3%, but 3% of $100,000 is $3,000. 3% of $200,000 is $6,000, and so on. So if you have a $500,000 house and you're paying 3% instead of $400, that's $15,000 out of your pocket when you could absolutely do it yourself. And again, like I said, check the description. Now, everybody also thinks that we need to be a realtor in order to have our own investments. No, that's false. You do not need to be a realtor. You own it. You start your own business. That's something that I love to do, is help my students build the business first. We build the business first. We make sure that it can run on its own. These properties, we have property managers, we have contractors, realtors, we have everybody else do the work for us, and we make money passively. It works on its own. And so what I'm looking at is, as I'm buying my next property, not being a realtor, I save so much money, so many fees, so much time, and I have other people do the work for me. So you guys are awesome. Check out this video right here. I want to get you started investing in real estate. I want to show you how to do it just like I did. I quit my job at 37 years old, and I want you to as well. All right, guys, we'll see you.